Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski. You can call me Grizzer, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news involving our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns, and then give you our take on that news along the way. Thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes, who have joined the Browns' latest dog pound as members, everybody who has subscribed to the channel, and all of you who get your comments in the viewer comment section. And now, coming up on today's show, as I told you yesterday, Dillon Gabriel will start for the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. Now, I'm all for it, but this is probably the wrong week for that to happen. I'll explain. Now, we had a quarterback who was over 40, but today we're going to talk about making field goals over 50. Also, I have compiled another list of coaches that we should consider when Stefanski is finally fired. And I got a couple of wild cards on this list. And then down in the viewer comments, one viewer says this is the perfect time to start Dillon Gabriel. But I'll tell you what, the one thing that people are going to be wondering about is this the right move? And then also, why is Shedeur Sanders not the backup quarterback? What is going on? We're going to, like this, I don't understand how Flacco is going to be the backup for Dillon Gabriel. It is just mind-boggling, to say the least. So Gabriel will start. Flacco's the backup, and Shedeur is still stuck at QB3, which is mind-numbing. Unbelievable. This team, they take a step forward and still take a step backwards. But here's the other thing. Rookie quarterbacks against Minnesota, you talk about an uphill battle. So Minnesota last year went 5-0 against rookie quarterbacks. Their defensive coordinator is Brian Flores, and he just licks his chops when he sees a rookie quarterback standing in front of him. Here, they faced Will Levis last year, Caleb Williams twice, Bryce Young from the Panthers, and then also Aiden O'Connell from the Raiders. And so they sacked Levis 5 times, although he did throw for 295 yards against them, 1 touchdown and 1 pick. Williams racked up 531 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks in the 2 starts. So he actually did pretty well, but the Vikings also sacked him 5 times. They didn't manhandle these rookie quarterbacks, but I mean, Gabriel is probably going to be under a lot of heat. So when the batted passes start happening, I'm going to start losing my mind. So you can expect that. Now, here's the other thing. Against Bryce Young, they shut down Carolina and sacked him 5 times as well. Go figure. And then they mixed it up against the Raiders and Aiden O'Connell. They only sacked him 4 times, but they did pick him off. So what does this mean? Brian Flores is sitting over there in London going, oh, yeah, bring on Gabriel. So we'll see. I mean, he is, Stefanski's hand-picked quarterback. So I don't know. I just don't understand why Shedeur is QB3. That'd just make Flacco is not part of this future in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't make any sense to keep Shedeur at QB3. But that's where we're at, folks. Just like, see what I mean with this team? Every single time you make a good decision, but you couple it with a bad decision. And it just kind of balances everything out. Flacco had his chance. It's over. It is over. And he's over 40. And now we got to talk about field goals over 50 because our guy is not that good at it right now. And I want to break this down for you because this has become such an integral part of the game. And I'm going to tell you, 50 is the new 40. 60 is the new 50. Take a look at this. Here's our guy. 1 for 2 on kicks over 50 yards. But when you look at the NFL average for kicks made over 50 yards over the last 5 years. Take a look at this. Here's the breakdown. Over the past 5 NFL seasons, the league-wide average make percentage for field goals over 50 yards and farther has ranged from 63% to just above 71%. I would actually call that 72%. 71.7% to me is 72%. The 5-year average is about 68%. This represents a major increase from earlier decades, and rates routinely below 50% as recently as the early 2000s. So as early as the early 2000s, the rate was 50%. Now you're looking at almost 70% make rate on field goals over 50 yards. Our guys at 50%. NFL teams now and coaches, they view 50-yard kicks as realistic scoring opportunities in most conditions. They alter both offensive decision-making and end-of-half strategy. Kicker roster security is increasingly tied to long-distance reliability. So, what does this mean? It means Holy Schmidt needs to get his Schmidt together, because this has got to improve. We cannot, even the extra point, you can't send him out there and not be sure. 50 is the new 40. Everybody's kicking 60-yarders now. Every time you turn around, somebody else is kicking one. Tom Dempsey, that thing is ancient history, that record. So the bottom line is this. Holy Schmidt, especially with the rookie quarterback starting now, with Gabriel starting, this is going to become so critical. It is going to be absolutely critical for Andre Schmidt to come through anywhere. We could be kicking field goals from anywhere on the field at this point. So, because if he doesn't start making them, he's going to get his coach fired. And when that happens, hopefully, I got some names for us to consider. I got more. I've been out shopping. I'm working hard, folks. Online. I'm going to the stores. I'm looking into bargain bins. I'm looking everywhere for our next coach, because we need another coach. We need a new coach. We know that. So, but here, I got some wild cards on this list. Take a look. Here is my new list of, I just added, not really new, of, let's find Stefanski's replacement. Here's our replacement. Here are some potential head coaches. How about Mike McCarthy? The former Cowboys and Packers head coach is the most accomplished retread available. He's made 12 playoff trips and won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. Then, of course, he went to Dallas, and they were okay. Well, who knows what goes down? But, hey, you got Mike McCarthy. How about Cliff Kingsbury? Kingsbury's on this list, and he was on my list the other day. Does that tell you something? Does Dave like Kingsbury? He's the former Cardinals coach, and now he's the top play caller in Washington. Often mentioned as a guy who should get a second chance. Remember, I love the guys who have already coached one place and made their mistakes there, like Belichick. Belichick made his mistakes here and then went on to New England to become the greatest coach of all time. I love guys in their second stint as a head coach, because I think they look back and they say, man, I would have done that differently. Man, this is how I think we could have done it. I think they make their mistakes in their first place and then get it together the second time around. Hey, we just mentioned Brian Flores. He's in Minnesota. The defensive coordinator, he's out there licking his chops, waiting for Dillon Gabriel to show up. But he coached in Miami, and it was controversial, but he was credited with maximizing their limited roster. So I'm fine with that. Robert Saleh, I don't know. He was with the Jets. I'm not that. I'm a big fan. He's the current 49ers defensive coordinator. He's respected for his defensive schemes and his energetic leadership. But can you imagine if I don't know. I'm not big on Saleh. But how about Arthur Smith? You talk about a guy who loves to run the ball. Like this guy. And then Matt Nagy's there too. But give me Arthur Smith all day, I think. If you got two stud running backs and you got the tight ends, might as well get a guy who likes to run the ball. But here we go. Here are our wild cards. How about Nick Saban? Would he leave the college game day set and come back? He coached here before. Would he come back to Cleveland and coach the Browns? I don't think so. I think that he's up there in age, and I think he's happy sitting there next to Pat McAfee watching him take off his shirt and all that. But then, how about prime time? I was screaming up and down last year for the package deal. Give me Deion and Shador. Bring Deion in here. I mean, the guy knows that. Like, he just has the moxie. Knows how to win. Do I think that'll happen? I don't think that would happen either. I think Deion's health issues and everything that's going on. I think the NFL, there's just it would be so hard on him. It's so hard on these guys, man. These coaches. Because you got people like me yelling for him to be fired every 5 minutes. So, I just don't know. I mean, I can dream though, Saban and Sanders, but that would be to me the package deal. I wouldn't hate on it. Let's get him in here, and then maybe if Deion was here, he could actually move Shador up to QB2 because somehow Flacco is still QB2. It makes absolutely no sense, but just some more names for us to consider because this Gabriel thing, to me, Stefanski's hanging his hat on it, and this is going to kill him if this fails. And every pass is batted down, and the offense still sputters, and it goes nowhere. His hand-picked quarterback that he wasted a third-round pick on, this better work out. Because we've only had one guy in the entire history of the NFL who was under 6 foot win a Super Bowl. So the odds are against him. But the Browns used a third-round pick on a guy who's 5'11". And so... hey, if he doesn't get it right, he'll get replaced. And one thing, though, we will never replace are the viewer comments. And my man, the greatest talent evaluator that nobody knows. But if you watch this show, you might know him because he was on this show one time. His name is Thraso Thrasovulu. And he had a great breakdown. He said, this is the perfect time to start Dillon Gabriel at quarterback because he says, he's got a list. Number 1. Your defense is elite and can help correct a rookie mistake. Now, here's what I'll say to that, Thraso. If we're still making the same boneheaded play calls, you're not going to be able to fix that because we've got to change this up. We've got to alter the play calls to match the quarterback. We didn't do it with Flacco. We better do it with Gabriel because that's not going to be able to cover up any mistakes. We have good running backs who can take the pressure off the quarterback and catch passes out of the backfield. This offense is perfectly built for a rookie quarterback. You've got great tight ends and great running backs who can also catch the ball. The checkdowns. That's why whenever there's a rookie quarterback, always take their tight end in fantasy because that's the first guy they're looking for. The first guy off the line. They're not looking down the field. They're looking right there. Right there. Tight end pops. My favorite play of all time. Perfectly set up. Is this offense with the weapons we have with Fannin and Njoku and Judkins and Sampson sets our rookie quarterback up for success. It's quarterback-friendly offense, too. High percentage passes. Get it out of your hands quick. If we run it right, we better not start dropping him back 8 yards like we were doing Flacco. You got a head coach that handpicked you. I mean, you're the class favorite. So you got that going for you. Long leash, I'm sure. And then the expectations are probably low. You would think, right? If you're the class favorite, you're the teacher's pet, right? So expectations, you're going to get that long leash. Now, here's the one thing I will add to this. Like, this is the other reason this should be a successful collaboration between Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel. It's because it's Stefanski's offense and Stefanski's play calls. I mean, if you're the teacher's pet, the teacher's pet's going to want to set you up to win. So let's find out. And what a test with this Brian Flores. Like when I found that 5-0 against rookie quarterbacks last year and what they did, they were all over these guys. But they did have some, they put up some yards and stuff. They didn't win. But, there's some vanity metrics there for you if you're into that sort of thing. But Thraso, great take, great list. Appreciate it, brother. All right. This is more password than it is YouTube handle. But CBPU5DN says, I say hire Cliff Kingsbury, head coach or offensive coordinator. I know he didn't do his best in Arizona. Jim Schwartz, Brown's current defensive coordinator, would be nice, as would be Brian Flores. And we're going to get a close look at Brian Flores on Sunday across the pond in jolly old England. Hey, man. Those every one of those names I love because this decision making by Stefanski The new one. How is Shador QB3? Roosevelt, Reedus, 1408. Fire the coach, get a new OC, 100%. Especially after we have Shador at QB3 still. Does not make any sense. Just absolutely, and bonehead. It's boneheadedness that just keeps going on. All right. Javante Delvin 00. This is a great take. He says, Stefanski will never make adjustments. Yes, just like adjusting Shador from QB3 to QB2. You're absolutely right, Javante, but that's just the beginning. Here's what Javante says. Stefanski will never make adjustments. He just sticks with the passing the ball down the field every freaking play, and we have no receivers. Oh, yeah, by the way, here is your receiver. This is your receiver room heading into the London game. It's Jerry Jeudy, Isaiah Bond, Jamari Thrash, Gage Larvidan, and Malachi Corley. Jeudy and Tillman, who's now gone, he's on IR, hurt, along with DeAndre Carter. Larvidan will be returning kicks, which is great because I thought he was great in the preseason. But listen to this. Jeudy and Tillman, out of 93 pass catchers on ESPN's receiver score chart, Jeudy is 87th and Tillman is 77th. So Tillman is even ahead of our wide receiver one. And so this wide receiver, I had high hopes, man. I did. You heard, I'm not going to back down. I had high hopes. I thought they really liked what they did, and they showed some signs in the early, but this room is just, they can't get open. They can't catch. They can't do anything right. So I better see Isaiah Bond much more involved in this offense, and Jeudy better get his Schmidt together too. But let's continue with Javante's take. He says, we have no wide receivers. Run the ball, clown, and use our tight ends more. We have a top 5 tight end in the league that we don't use. We had Hunt and Chubb. He never used them the right way. Stefanski always using the passing game. We are running team first. All of that was in capital letters, so you know he was yelling. He continues, that's what wins game, running the ball. I've been saying that I'm with you, Javante. Did we just become best friends? Wearing other team defenses down. More capital letters. Fire Stefanski ASAP. I always said he was soft and was the wrong head coach for the Browns from the start. SMFH. Not just SMH. He threw in an F. Means business. And Javante, I got a buddy who says the same thing about you. Stefanski is soft. We need a Tomlin-type personality to be coaching this team. That's why I like Schwartz. He's all business, man. Just no doubt about it. You ask him a question, he's like, yeah. I love that. We need that Tomlin-type mentality as a head coach here for the Cleveland Browns. We don't have that right now. Too soft. So soft. Javante, great take. At TD Mayday says, how many times do I have to tell you this defensive backs group is worthless in Cleveland? They will not tackle anybody. Delpit on that punt return didn't even try to tackle the guy. If those guys were at Ohio State, they'd be sitting on the bench for not tackling. At TD Mayday, here's the thing. I think Ward has been playing well. I think Delpit has been playing well. And Newsome has been playing well. But Delpit said, and this is what I don't get, Delpit said that he thought the ball went out of bounds, and that's why he didn't try on that punt return. When I played, I was taught you play until you hear a whistle. So why he thought the ball went out of bounds, fine. But why you don't tackle, it makes absolutely no sense. You're a professional football player. If you don't hear a whistle, you go and hit somebody. Until you hear a whistle, you find somebody to hit. How about this? Find the guy with the ball and hit him. Horrible excuse by Delpit. I don't get it. But hopefully, I'm telling you, man, they were checking out at the end of that game. And so Stefanski knows his coaching life is on the line. And he's putting it all. He's got this basket called Dillon Gabriel. And he's putting all of his chips in the Dillon Gabriel basket. Not even moving Shador up to quarterback, too. Why would you keep Flacco as the backup? He is not the future. It makes no sense. And you know me, I like to end on a positive note. So we will end with at Dawn Adams 2063, who says, I subscribe today. Your channel is informative and hilarious. Oh, I appreciate that. That's what I try to do. Football's supposed to be fun. Now, the Browns make me absolutely crazy. So hopefully you find that funny. But This is supposed to be fun. Actual and factual. I try to infotain. I always want to entertain a little bit. So I call it infotain. We'll share some knowledge and hopefully make you laugh along the way. Because this is, in the end, folks, it is. It is entertainment. But oh my gosh. Gabriel's going to start. And Shador's QB3. All right. Let's go. This is the first day of the rest of our lives as Cleveland Browns fans. We got that going for us. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. That'll do it for today's show. Go Browns! Dillon Gabriel. They'll fly in Hawaiian. This is my left hand. This is my lefty hand. Wait. The fly in Hawaiian. There's my impression of Dillon Gabriel. That's a little better. Oh, boy. Here we go. Never a dull moment as a Cleveland fan. All right, go Browns. We'll see you next time.